It's a very much a self-selection process. This is why I'm very open about my thought process, my value system, my philosophy. And it's like I'm not trying to tell anybody that this is how you should think or this is what you should do. I'm just sharing that after 25 years of continual travel around the world, meeting people from every corner of planet Earth and asking a hell of a lot of questions. While meeting all these people and studying different religions and philosophy and everything like that, that this value system is the most effective and efficient for human beings. Now, this is not a political ideology. I think of it more as a North Star. I think is it an ethical decision. And if you resonate with a lot of the ideas that we talk on the podcast, then the Veritas project that we're doing here in Panama is like the physical manifestation of that. Like I have private clients who come to me and they're like, I think exactly like you do. Like these are my values. This is what is important. This is what is not important. The Veritas is taking these, the non-aggression principle, the personal responsibility, the self-sustainability, these types of ideas and putting them in a physical space, which is so cool to watch it come to life over the last, whatever, 24 months that we've been working on it. One other point that you made, Patrick, which is so important, and I really want to like double down on and highlight here, is that yes, you can go out there and buy acres of land and build your own homestead. I've been following homesteading ideas for 20 years. But for me, it like it was cool, but it didn't tick all of the boxes because I don't really want to be out there milking cows and I don't want to be chopping my own lumber for fuel. And I didn't want to do all these things or learn about all the electricity or the plumbing or, be a jack of all trades. That's awesome if you guys have those types of skills. I have a very different set of skills. Mine is, the travel and the internationalization, the taxes, the immigration, the financing, the financial side. This is my background. I want to focus on that because that's how I can help people. But at the same time, I still want to be off grid. I still want to have all of these types of things. So to be in a gated community, in a protected community with cool, like-minded people where I can pay for those services at a reasonable amount and have neighbors that can assist you if something happens, like, geez, like your wife is the pediatrician for my kids. Like, like we're best friends and I love your wife and she's the pediatrician. Like you guys are our neighbors. So, opposed to going to a big hospital, like there's just so many examples we can use of on how a community of a couple hundred people can do this better than just you out by what is it down by the river by yourself,
In a
like
van
in
down
a
by the
van
river.
by the river. I think a community is the way to go about it.
Yeah, no, definitely. And we take all those boxes that we check on that list of things that we want in life, and then you can put it in such a beautiful place. I mean, you can't see everything around me, but the Veritas Coronado area has, jungle-like areas, forested areas, mountainous areas. You can see the ocean from most of it, and great breezes.
Good hiking around the region as well.
Yeah, we even have hiking trails within the community. And like you mentioned, community orchards and gardens and stables and a tilapia pond. I was just out at the tilapia pond a little earlier today. It's pretty cool. And the stream with waterfalls running through. I mean, it's just a beautiful natural place. And, like you mentioned with your kids and things. And one of the big drivers for me in a place like this too is I'm really quite opposed to the indoctrination of kids around the world, especially the Western world these days. And I grew up in the prairies of Canada. It was a farming community, right? And that's where a lot of the kind of jack of all trades skills come from, because you can't always just go out and dispose of something and buy something else. You were fixing everything all the time. But what I liked about that, and it's kind of that old adage, is that if your barn burns down or something, your neighbors come by and they help you rebuild it. And it's just that kind of living in the community here, where I feel like we're going back 40 or 50 years to that time where community, like you knew your neighbors, right? And you like I have apartment condos and stuff in different places, and I don't know anybody around them, right? But here I'll know everybody in this neighborhood, and everybody will know each other. And like I said, they're not always going to agree on everything, but we have the ability and the maturity to agree to disagree.
100%. It's not like we're trying to create some type of a utopia or paradise on earth or anything like arrogant like this. It is a gated community in the highlands of Panama, which has the philosophical background of don't hurt people and don't take their stuff. And we hold individuals, companies, and governments to the same set of standards, which is I think the big difference, and personal responsibility. It's like, I mean, that's just awesome. Like, I'm just surprised that more places like this don't exist on planet Earth, because it seems so obvious to me now, after so many years of doing this, that it's like this is the most effective way for a human being to live. So
Yeah, and I'm going to look forward to when your place is done and your kids are here and it can go down to the stream and catch minnows or butterflies or whatever, and be a kid, right, in the wilderness. And your school that you're going to have here, the expat school, I think is going to be amazing, because I remember field trips as a kid, right, where you just go out into the wilderness and discover stuff. And here you've got it all around us. I mean, we got capuchin monkeys in the trees here. We've got parrots, and every night just behind me at the pool there, the lovebirds come bombing in flocks and drink out of the pool. And it's a noisy mess, but it's pretty because lovebirds are beautiful birds. But it's different, obviously, than growing up in central Canada, where you didn't have that diversity of tropical animals. But it's very cool here. So I really was so excited. As you know, we looked at 40 or 50 different properties before finding this one too, and this one checked all the boxes, and we kind of all looked at each other like, this, I don't care what they're asking for it. This is the place we're buying, right? So then we
it was worth to take our time, because man, the location that we found, Pat, is unbelievable. And just to paint you guys a picture, so this is about an hour or so drive outside of Panama City, and it's halfway up a mountain, not too far up that you're in the cloud forest and it's gray and overcast or anything like that. We're halfway up, so you're looking at about 4 or 5 degrees cooler than at sea level. So like you said, 24 degrees right now. That's amazing. But here's the cool part. If you want to go down to the beach, you're looking at like a 15-minute drive to the beach max.
Yeah.
If you want to go to the grocery store or the pharmacy or basically anything, there's a town which is about 10, 12 minutes away. So, you just go down the hill, everything is there. But where we are is this secluded spot with this amazing view of the Pacific Ocean on one side and the mountains behind us. So it's like pretty much every home will have an incredible view there, and you're off grid. You produce your own food, but you're not like 3 hours in the middle of nowhere, which is going to get old really fast. Like, you need to go to town, you want to go out for dinner or go to the pub or something, your 10-minute drive, like it's nothing. It's
like
literally
like the
nothing.
town of Coronado here is, well, that's one of the check boxes, right? We want to have that seclusion and the isolation when we want it. But we're, like you said, 10 minutes away from a town that has, well, the town of Coronado in this general area was basically the first expat-oriented area in Panama, basically because of the beautiful beaches around here. And so everything was kind of tailored towards, you have the best of the grocery stores, you have great, hardware stores, you've got movie theaters, amazing restaurants of all different types, and like you said, pubs, great pubs and things like that. So it was built for catering to expats, right? So and so you have that right at your fingertips. There's probably a half a dozen or more amazing beaches, marble beaches with coral, white sand, and black volcanic sand mixed together, and some just amazing places. Great surfing, not too far away if people want to surf. But then you can come up here
as well, because it's actually a pretty good destination for kite surfing around that area too.
Yeah, right, or in the Chame Peninsula there, not too far from here. And now I was talking to somebody else here, one of the Bitcoin guys that was around the other day, and he was into car racing, and I have a past of enjoying car racing as well. And they just built a track that we went to a few weeks ago, Mikkel, and
for your birthday, that was cool.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, I mean, there's just so much around here too. So you're not really in that isolated thing, but you have the seclusion of being in the community like this. Like you said, you close the gates and that's it. We're all in. And we have our own restaurants and stuff like that inside the community as well. With, I think, one of the most beautiful views ever, a 360-degree view well, on one side, like you said, there's the Bocacho Mountain, which is the tallest mountain in this general region. And on the other side, you have the views of the Pacific Ocean. So it's pretty hard to beat.